Hey everyone, I hope you all are doing great today, and thanks for tuning back into another episode of Dad's Budget Bites, the kitchen where budget meets flavor. They come together beautifully. So if you recall from the end of our last video, we spun our game wheel. This is to set up the theme of our current video, and we ended up getting lunch dinner. So this is something that's suitable for lunch or dinner. So what I decided to share with you all today is actually something I came up with all on my own. I'm sure there's similar recipes out there, maybe the same exact thing. I never really looked into it. But one day last summer, I used what I had. It's a chicken-based recipe that we're going to be making today, and it came out great. So without further ado, let's get into it and let's cook. Here's the ingredients that we're going to be using today for our dinner or lunch. It really goes either way. So the first thing I have here is a big old pack of chicken tenderloins. This particular package was just under 3 pounds. I get the big packages because I have a large family. You know, obviously shop according to what you need. I pre-cut the little dangly tendon things that hang off the end because they're pretty gross. So these are in the pan and ready to go in the oven. On top of that, we have half a medium onion. We have a bell pepper. We have garlic and herb seasoning. If you watched any prior videos of mine, you see that I use this quite often. It's very universal, and I use it in many dishes. And then we have about half a teaspoon of jarred, minced, or chopped garlic. Shredded cheese, whichever your preference, whatever your liking is. This one's a Mexican blend. And then I have 2/3 of a can of black beans, a full can of fire roasted tomatoes, and then salt and pepper to taste. So your first step is 3 mini steps in one. You want to add a little bit of oil or butter to your pan and turn that on. I would just start with like a low medium heat, maybe around a 4. Let the pan get nice and warm, and then you also want to warm up your oven. So I use convection, and I'm going to warm that up now. I do it at 375. If you use a non-convection, maybe you want to bump it up to 400. So the oven's warming up, the pan's warming up, and now we want to slice our veggies. Ooh, one got away. So I prefer nice and small pieces. So I'll finish this up, and then we just add it to the pan and go from there. We now have our veggies sliced and diced. The onions are ready to go in the pan. I like to give those a little bit of a head start so they brown up nicely. Maybe bump it up to a 5 at this point. Get it going a little quicker. So this is a cool process once we get going, and I can't wait to show you guys. This is relatively cheap. It feeds a lot of people. Everything together is probably around 16 bucks, and this will easily feed 8, possibly even 10. Okay, so the onions are just starting to brown. We may as well add the peppers now. once the peppers go in, it's also a good time to add the black beans, as well as the fine roasted tomatoes. Oh, just trying not to get all the water in there. So that's good. For presentation purposes, I think I'll speed this up a little bit more. So I have it on like a 6.5 heat now. And it's also a good time to add your salt, pepper, and that garlic and herb seasoning I mentioned. A little bit of salt. A little bit of pepper. And then seasoning to taste. That's pretty good. All right, it does get a bit liquidy, you know, with the canned tomatoes and also the onions, the peppers. They all give off a good amount of water, but especially the tomatoes. So I'm probably going to let this go for another 5 minutes or so, and I'll check back with you guys then. So this has been going about 5 minutes. I turned the heat down low now. It's on 2.5. And then the jarred garlic, you want to add that last because you don't want that to burn. So that's in there now. Most of the liquid burned off, cooked off, and it might not look like much now, but if you like what's going into it, you're going to love the final product. So now we could just turn the heat off. So I don't remember if I mentioned it or not just now, but the oven did go off. Again, I have it set to 375 convection mode. The chicken's in there. You want to give it about 20 minutes. You want it to mostly cook, but not fully cook, because this is going to be the topping for the chicken, and we're going to finish it all off together. So as soon as this oven beeps and the chicken's done for now, I'll check back in with you guys. All right, everyone, so the oven just went off. I just took the chicken out. It's looking a little pasty and naked, but aside from that, it's looking good. And now it's time to dress it up with the topping. Put some clothes on this baby. All right, it's going to end up falling where it wants to anyway. Alright, I think this package might be even a little bigger than what I normally get, because we just had enough. Alright, look at that, a perfect fit. And now we just want to pop this back in the oven for about 5... Oh, I almost forgot. Let me stop myself. We want to add the cheese. All right, so sprinkle that on as much or as little as you desire. All right. Looks like that bottom row isn't getting much. So that's it. Now we put it back in the oven, mainly to melt the cheese, so about 5 or 6 minutes on the same temp. And I'll check back in with you guys in a minute. All right, our chicken's out of the oven now. I gave it an additional 6 minutes, so I had 26 minutes in total. You know, chicken's one of those things, or poultry in general, where you don't want to mess around. So just, you know, whenever you cook chicken or poultry again, you just want to make sure it's cooked fully through. So this looks good, looks a lot better than it did when I first took it out of the oven. And now it's time to plate it, taste it, and see how we did. All right, everyone, so now's the moment of truth. We taste it, see if we did good, if we did bad. 99% of cooking, I would say, is just playing around, learning, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't, experimenting with what you already have at home. And, you know, sometimes you can make something brilliant out of it. Sometimes it comes out awful. You know, it's all part of the process. So this one, I think, is really good. I haven't tasted this particular one yet, but I have many times. So let's give it a shot and see if it's any good. All right, get some of that topping on there. All right, bottoms up. Very good. Came out fantastic. Came out great. I'd highly encourage you guys to try this at home. You know, if you like the ingredients that went into it, try it at home. If there's something you don't like, get rid of it. Maybe add a substitution or just get rid of it altogether. But yeah, no, this came out great. Try it at home and let me know what you think. So now, this brings us to the end of our video. We're going to spin the game wheel here, and that sets up our theme for next time. So at the end of our last video, we left off on lunch or dinner. So we're going to start there, give it a good spin, and see what we have in store for next time. All right, side dish. We're doing a side dish together. I think this will be a third one, so that would be fun. I got to think of something to do, and please tune in next time. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Feel free to share it with your friends and family. Comment. Your feedback is always welcome. I appreciate that. And lastly, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe. I'll see you soon. Bye.